Hey guys, we're going to be checking out head and neck. This is week 6. Naphis is going to be giving us a packet of notes, so I'm just going to try and hit the high points. I don't want to bore you with everything that she's going to be going over when you'll just have the notes yourself. But I tried to pick out the important things. First thing that we started with was scalp. She made it pretty important that we know what it stands for and what's important about each layer. You got skin, that's just where you got your outside layers, sebaceous glands. You got connective tissue, this is the dense one. What's important about the connective tissue is this is highly vascularized. So if she asks you about it, that's the area that you're looking for. You got the aponeurotic, which is just the sheet-like covering. You got the loose areolar connective tissue. This is the dangerous area because of the emissary veins. This is what's going in and out of the cranium, and that's why it can be dangerous. And of course, the pericranium is the last layer there. This wonderful drawing right here is to express the importance of the sensory of the face is all done by the trigeminal except for one area. That's going to be this area right here across the mandible and the parotid gland, and that's going to be coming from the great auricular nerve. She also talked about arteries of the face, which I didn't draw out, but you need to understand the distribution, how it starts with the facial nerve, starts branching off, and as it branches off, where it's going to in the face. When you get to the dorsal nasal branch of the ophthalmic artery, it joins together through anastomosis. That was something she emphasized in class. Speaking of the parotid gland here, we need to know a couple things about that. It's one of our 3, it's also the largest of the 3 salivary glands. It lays on top of the masseter muscle, and it's covered by parotid fascia. This comes from the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. The way it gets secreted is through the parotid duct. This duct pierces the buccinator. Again, that was another thing she said in class. This is a test question. What muscle does it pierce? It's the buccinator. She also talked about the nerve supply to get to the parotid gland, and she went really fast through it, so I tried to draw it out here again so we can think about it. It comes from the glossopharyngeal nerve, which is cranial nerve 9, but it's not actually the nerve itself, it's a branch of the nerve. So starting out from cranial nerve 9, it'll then turn into the tympanic nerve. It'll go through the tympanic plexus and turn into the lesser petrosal. This is all part of the presynaptic portion, so that's important to understand. The lesser petrosal will then interact at the otic ganglion. From there, going out to the parotid gland through the auriculotemporal nerve is known as the postsynaptic portion. Again, that's nerve supply going to the parotid gland. We need to understand the muscles of the infratemporal fossa, which is all of our muscles of mastication. Something important there is our lateral and medial pterygoid. These attached to a fibrous capsule of the temporal mandibular joint, or the TMJ. And the medial pterygoid is the only one that actually gets innervation from the trunk itself and the nerve. The other portions are branches of the nerve. And the last thing here that she talked about was an important nerve here, the auriculotemporal nerve. It'll go and make a loop, or it'll wrap around the middle meningeal artery. Again, she said that's going to be a test question, so make sure you understand that the artery that's wrapped around by the auriculotemporal nerve is the middle meningeal. That's all I got for you guys.